I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. On 20th of February, Rahu will finally exit out of Bharani Nakshatra, the nakshatra that bears the load, the nakshatra that is the door of two realms, the nakshatra that was ruled by Yamraj. And now Rahu will enter the Ashwini Nakshatra, Ashwini being the first nakshatra, starting with the beginning of Aries. The four padas of this nakshatra comprises of Aries to Cancer Navamsha. But when Rahu will enter Ashwini Nakshatra, it will enter in a retrograde fashion. So it will enter first the Cancer Navamsha, and then it will slowly move in the reverse order from Cancer Navamsha, which is the fourth pada, fourth quarter of this nakshatra, till the first quarter. And finally, on 30th of October this year, Rahu will exit out of Ashwini Nakshatra. What is exactly this nakshatra? Ashwini is a nakshatra ruled by Ashwini Kumars, the divine healers, the horse-headed physicians. It is the Vedic connection here. And when you talk about this nakshatra, you also talk about the star of motion, movement. When you associate horse, definitely you will associate transportation. You will also associate strength. You will associate agility. You will also associate smart thinking. This nakshatra always possesses these qualities. Ashwini, as the name suggests, Ashwa, that means horses, is also a nakshatra that brings healing abilities. It's like stem cell, a nakshatra that can take its shape, that can impart its energy in any area of life. Because it is the beginning of life, it has the capacity, it has the power, just like in a body, a stem cell has. A lot of stem cell treatment goes in nowadays, and as the science progresses, you will see this going in a more advanced manner. So when Rahu, a planet of mysticism, goes in this nakshatra, so the mysticism combines with power, agility, strength and healing. So the healing power of this nakshatra now suddenly radiates outwards. It somehow explodes, because see, the natural instinct of this nakshatra is to be within, deep-seated. It is like the duality that is always hidden somewhere, and not easily you can decipher the secrets of this nakshatra. This nakshatra is also an expert of keeping secrecy, because this nakshatra has an energy association with Ketu. Ketu will be in Libra zodiac sign, influencing Venus energies. Rahu is out of Venus nakshatra and will move into Ketu nakshatra. So now you see that Venus is also going to be a bit lighter during this time, and Venus will be in Pisces zodiac sign, forming a conjunction with Jupiter's 12th from this position of Rahu. Exactly on 24th of February, Jupiter will enter Revati nakshatra, the final nakshatra. So you can understand the Jivakaraka, Jupiter, is in the final nakshatra, and Rahu, the Karaka of darkness, is in the first nakshatra, and they are about to collide, as if they are going to give birth to a new source of life. New species can be discovered, new technologies can be found during this time, something that needs humanity to sustain. So you will see a lot of transformation happening throughout the world, especially in the healing and scientific community. Rahu, when it goes in this nakshatra, also increases the occult power of this nakshatra. Rahu in Ashwini Nakshatra will express itself as a fast moving thought process. In short, we will feel a lot of eagerness to act. We will be impatient. We will always have this tendency to move fast, faster than others, and it will increase that competitive urge in the mind, because Rahu will also influence Mars. But now when Rahu is in Ashwini, it will behave like Mars and Ketu combined. So whomsoever has Mars and Ketu together in their chart by conjunction or by another sort of association, they will be influenced heavily by this Rahu transit. If you have your Lagna, your Moon, your Sun in Ashwini, or any major planet in Ashwini, or also if you add that a planet that is in Ashwini is also the Mahadasha Lord, it is going to influence you heavily. And Rahu in Ashwini in certain ways is extremely good for you also. See, sometimes you need that thrust. Sometimes you need that thrust to breach the boundary, cross different realms, and somehow find a solution that you're not finding in the current setup. So Rahu in Ashwini is also going to break patterns and create new patterns in life. It is going to break your mindset, and it can affect generations. This is, you also understand, is the end of one full 18-year of Rahu's cycle. When Rahu will exit Ashwini, it will enter Pisces, which is the beginning of another Rahu cycle from Pisces to Aries. It lasts 18 years. Rahu in Ashwini, Rahu in this nakshatra is also good for medical professionals, professional involved in mystic arts, magicians, because Rahu in this nakshatra is like magic. This is the power of the solar deities. Although Rahu creates grahana, but sometimes you also have to understand that Rahu is also that vector force that allows you to give a direction to your karma. Yes, you have to beat the Maya to find the right direction, but in order to leave a certain realm and breach to this another realm, which is not perceived by our five physical senses, you will need the help of Rahu. There was a reason why Rahu is a part of Navagraha. So when Rahu goes in this nakshatra, you will see that the communication skills will improve for a lot of people. Smart way to communicate, artificial intelligence, softwares, machine design, niche technologies, all this will see a great boost. Now combine this with Saturn in Aquarius. Here is the picture. So when Rahu is in Ashwini, it traps the force of creation. When Saturn is in Aquarius, it takes control of technology. And both of them stops Pisces from exiting. So there is no exit now. That means some medical advancements might happen that will delay the death, delay the cure the diseases, increasing the longevity of people, artificially of course. This is also the nakshatra that will affect transport industry, aviation especially. So you will see a lot of reforms there. But because Rahu has this chaotic Asuri nature, there might be some mishaps also. How to use this nakshatra? In order to understand the power of this nakshatra, you need to understand that Rahu is basically a bridge between realities. It is a bridge between different thought processes. So when Ashwini defines dual way of life, you can say the black and white. When Rahu goes there, it is like merging them into one. For some, it will be more like going beyond the duality, beyond going into the causal plane or in the astral plane. But for a lot of people, it might be a heavy confusion, especially if your mind is heavily afflicted by different planets in your birth chart and it is negative. Means if your moon is negative, if your moon is in a weak position, this transit can affect you slightly negatively. But how to counter that negativity? You can use the power of Jupiter. Ultimately, Jupiter will also enter Ashwini Nakshatra in in the end of April and in the month of May. And for that 1 year, Jupiter and Rahu will be together. Rahu will in fact exit this nakshatra and Jupiter will stay in Aries zodiac sign. So if you have this critical thinking, if you have this advanced way of looking into things, if you have this broad mindset, you will be easily sailing through the energies. Just that this is going to create anxiety, eagerness, impulsive reactions, and you must control that through logical thinking. We also cannot ignore that Saturn has the third aspect on Rahu. It always had a third aspect on Rahu the moment it entered Aquarius. Aquarius being a zodiac co-ruled by Rahu along with Saturn. Which means Rahu's misadventures will be countered by Shani. So if you follow the policies of Rahu, if you will follow the negative energy, if you increase the tamasic force, because see, the vague of the tamas, that means the negative force, is also going to rise very quickly given one hint or one support. It is like who is on the horse. It depends on that. Horse will run. Whether you are running towards light or whether you are running towards darkness depends on the rider. This Rahu can become a rider. You also have to see the position of Mars in your horoscope, because Mars will play a vital role on maintaining and controlling the desire that Rahu will generate in your heart. If Mars is weak, if Mars is negative, then you need to pray to Ma Durga, so that the Mars and Rahu energies can be balanced and the desire that comes is positive and creative and constructive, not destructive. Also, you have to understand that there is going to be a lot of issues in career for a lot of people because of their own mindset of following the herd. They will try to, upscale recklessly. There will be a lot of assumptions in the mind of people, where you will do something assuming that it will become successful. This assumption-based action will be the theme of Rahu in Ashwini. You will have to be very careful. But on the positive side, this can give you very, very advanced thinking. Intuitive powers are going to be very high. Your occult and mystical energies will be very high. People involved in spiritual practices will see great boost in their energies, and some may also experience a presence of a guru, a divine energy. Patterns will come. You will see numbers. You will see hints, dreams. A lot of things will happen. It is a very dynamic transit. For Aries, Rahu is going to be on your first house. And this Ashwini is going to affect your thought process, your mind, your personality. So you might see that you're physically running around, you are available everywhere. You are not focused on a certain task, or you are overly focused on a certain task. So take care of that. Also take care of all the thoughts that run in your mind and all the desire that influences you. This can create a new desire, a new seed of thought that will be so radical, so different, that will break the current pattern. Maybe you are into corporate and suddenly you want to become a singer. Nothing bad in that, but then you have to be very practical. For Taurus, this will be in the 12th house, so you need to be careful while you're visiting foreign countries. You have to be very careful when you're spending, especially when you're giving money to somebody. You also have to be careful while you're visiting hospitals, that there should not be any mistake. Diagnosis can become a problem, so maybe you have to be alert on that part of life. A lot of people will move country to country, so people who are involved in traveling, vlogging, influential industries, goods and services to foreign countries, all this will be will give a positive angle to your life. But be very careful that you have to also reject the tamasic energy, so a lot of detoxification is necessary. For Gemini ascendant, this is going to affect your source of income. This will give you new ideas, new direction in making money. This is going to give you great profits. But then when you get profit, hold it, save it, don't spend it. For Cancer, this is going to affect your career. This is going to change your career. It will bring dynamic energies in your career. So if you're stuck, if you're doing the same thing monotonously, this will bring new things, new challenges, new dimensions in your life. And if you don't want a change, then it will be a difficult time for you. Change is inevitable. For Leo, it will hit the 9th house. Now for Leo, this is going to be negative. Why? Because Rahu don't like the house of Dharma. So when Rahu goes in Ashwini, you will try to defend what you are fighting for, even if it is wrong. So this is the time for once listen to a guru and maybe understand that you might be wrong. But also there are cases when you are fighting for justice and you are falling weak. This Rahu will give you the necessary strength to keep going, keep moving. The best way is to read Bhagavad Gita and constantly correct yourself. For Virgo, this is going to affect your 8th house, and this is going to be extremely mystical. This is going to increase your intuitive power, mysticism. It is a highly tantric transit, especially for Virgo moon sign. So you should focus more on Tantra and you should focus on doing some sadhana during this time. For Libra, this is the 7th house, so it will impact marriage. A lot of people will see that marriages are happening out of nowhere, and for a lot of people, it will be an extramarital affair. So be very careful while you're dealing with the 7th house matters and don't trust anyone other than your own instincts, your guru, your family. This is the time when for you trusting someone might cost you, and I'm not saying that everyone is going to harm you, but then you have to be aware enough, alert enough, and blind faith, blind trusting is bad for you. For Scorpio, this is going to affect your 6th house. This will give you temporary enemies. You will fight and you will win. It is a competitive environment, and fast and steady wins the race will be the mantra for Scorpio ascendant. Nothing to worry, but then you also will have illusion of enemies. So don't do any mistake by thinking that your friend is your enemy. That is one filter that you have to apply. Sagittarius ascendant. For you, Rahu will be in the 5th house, and this is going to increase the dharma quotient. Now why? Because see, Rahu in the 5th house in Ashwini will make you do a lot of mantra chanting, but then you would want quick result. Quick productivity is not there. You have to understand that you have to constantly pursue, and divine energies will listen. You have to be persistent, you have to maintain the discipline here, because if you're not disciplined, things won't work out for you. For Capricorn, Rahu will move in the 4th house, giving more energies to the house, more energies to the real estate. So your house, property, assets can build. And if something was not moving, if your money was stuck, if the property was not selling, things were not moving, it will start moving in the positive direction. Just that you will have to control the direction and the speed of it. Drive carefully. For Aquarius, this is going to be in the 3rd house. So it will inflate your courage. Don't bring ego and unnecessary pride, because then Saturn is going to deflate you. Saturn is on your 1st house. Use this Rahu to have this unique way of communicating, because your communication, your strength, your courage can influence people positively. And for Pisces, it will be in the 2nd house. So this will create an insatiable hunger for wealth. Nothing is wrong, but understand that you have Jupiter in the 1st. Use that guidance of Guru to create that hunger, but that hunger should be for spirituality. So now you understand that this Rahu in Ashwini is actually not bad. This is a very good and positive transit. Well, this is a transit where Rahu loves to move. Because Rahu is in fact what? Electromagnetic radiation, a mathematical point. The real name is called Swarbhanu, sound of the sun. There is a certain way. And for something that wants to move, bring the Ashwini energies and the motion will affect them. There will be proper guidance, new navigation system, GPS and all that can be reintroduced. new technologies will come. I think you should use this wisely to allow your life to move in the forward direction in a positive manner, staying optimistic, not giving a knee-jerk reaction, and being positive is the key for this Rahu transit to work in your favor. We'll meet you in the next video. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and for consultations, please drop me an email. This is your host Punneit. Namaste.